Welcome to Songs of Praise, and in the week that we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we're in Londonderry in Northern Ireland. Last year, all roads led to Derry as the city celebrated 12 months in the spotlight as the UK's very first city of culture.
And what a great party that was. So how do the people of Derry plan to keep that spirit of hope alive? And does the message of Ireland's patron saint have anything to add?
This week we hear from men and women who are carrying on the message of St. Patrick. Choirs from the Derry area sing some great hymns in the city's historic Guildhall. And there's music from Derry singer-songwriter Eileen Patterson. The historic walled city of Derry lies at the mouth of the River Foyle. This is one of the oldest continually inhabited areas of Ireland, and today it's home to just over 100,000 people. The city gets its name from the Irish word dura, which means oak, a symbol which is still proudly displayed across the city. James I granted Derry a royal charter in the 17th century, and the name London was added to the city's official title. That link is still evident today. The city's magnificent Guildhall, a reminder of the historic association with the City of London and its guilds.
And it's in this newly refurbished Guildhall that the choirs from the city area have gathered to sing their songs of praise. As we prepare to celebrate the life of Patrick, we'll start with William Walsham Hoy's great hymn, For All the Saints.
– 2013 was a year-long celebration of culture, which will be remembered by the people of Derry for a long time. The city opened its doors and its heart to the world, and they came in their tens of thousands. It was a year of unprecedented scenes, images that captured a new picture of Derry and showed off this once troubled city in a new light.
The City of Culture baton has now been handed on to Hull as they prepare for 2017. Now, although the pace of life in this city is getting back to normal, there's also a determination that the spirit of hope built up during the last year won't be lost.
Pat Story shares that view. She's the first female Anglican bishop in the UK and Ireland, and prior to her recent appointment, Pat was the rector of St Augustine's Church on the city's walls. As the first woman to lead the church in Ireland, she's following in the footsteps of the saint whose name she shares.
Great to see you all. How are you? Great hug. Oh, great.
I would describe our church as maybe being very happy wee church, but maybe I would describe it as in a circle, facing inwards, having a great wee time. And I think the City of Culture in 2013, the one thing it made us do was maybe turn around in that circle and face outwards. And that's actually been really significant in terms of just engaging with people outside our walls. I think the role of the church going into 2014 after City of Culture is really important, because I think a lot of us were thinking towards the end of 2013, what are we going to do now? And is this going to be a really boring city now? Because we've done everything. And it has been a fantastic year, but obviously it's just been a year in the life of the city. It has to leave a legacy and catapult us into a future with hope.
So what difference will having a woman in the House of Bishops make?
I don't like to generalise by saying women are more this and men are less that, but I do think that maybe the way women make decisions is maybe quite different from men. Women tend to maybe gather information, talk it over and make decisions together. For instance, if we're talking about some of the big issues, like, maybe abortion or something like that, I'll be the only person on that board that this could ever have happened to, an unexpected pregnancy could ever have happened to. So I come as a wife and a mother. But I suppose hopefully I bring Pat and my gender, it really is secondary to that. Well, obviously the first test of a new bishop is getting up those pulpit steps, and I can tell you it's going to be quite a test to get down them again. Patrick's main message was, I bring Christian faith, there is hope in Christ. Because Patrick, risked his life. He left everything behind and he came to bring Christian faith. He felt that strongly about it. And I think we should still have that kind of missionary zeal, even if we never set foot out of Ireland. But still that missionary zeal that Christian faith works, Christian faith is true, and Christian faith makes a difference to your life. The message of Patrick, my message, the message of every Christian in this city and in this country is the same. This person is worth knowing, and it is all about personal faith. It's all about the person.
This year, Derry has branded itself as Music City. It's very proud of its diverse musical heritage, especially when it comes to writing hymns. Perhaps the city's best-known writer was Cecil Frances Alexander, the wife of William Alexander, the Bishop of Derry and Raphoe. Cecil Frances was the author of many well-loved hymns, including All Things Bright and Beautiful and Once in Royal David City. But perhaps her best-known hymn was inspired by the view from her window as she looked at one of the many small hills that are features of this part of the country.
Although we can't be sure exactly which hill she had in mind, she likened the scene to Golgotha, the place of Christ's crucifixion. She was then inspired to pen the words of that great hymn, "There's a green hill far away." Beneath the beauty of this city, there's also pain, because like so many parts of the UK, a shocking number of people here die by suicide. The River Foyle, which runs around this city, is deceptively dangerous, and sadly, the river and the bridges which span it have been used by many people as a way to end their lives. As a community reaction to these tragedies, for the past 20 years, the volunteers of Foyle Search and Rescue have been on the front line in the fight to prevent death by suicide.
Joanne, why do you do what you do?
The reason I got involved at the beginning was because my husband and I stopped with a man on the bridge who was contemplating taking his life, and we stopped and we stayed with him and we talked to him until the police came and help arrived. It can be absolutely anyone, any age, male, female, any background. There's no single common denominator other than that they are ill and they are unwell and they want to end their life.
I'm talking to you here on a Saturday night. Will this be a particular night that you guys will expect to be called out?
We run a duty night, a Thursday, Friday and Saturday night, and we go out on duty from 10 o'clock to just after 3 in the morning. And the reason we pick Thursday, Friday and Saturday night is that is the nights that people go out to socialise. And sometimes if people are going out in the wrong frame of mind and they get some alcohol and that fuels maybe something that's going on in their own head, because of that then negative feelings creep in. For me I just want to come and help people and offer something back to the community, and that gives me a good feeling as well to help other people. One night where me and a colleague were in the boat and a girl went off the top deck of Craigavon Bridge, and we managed to get a hold of her to get her out, but I literally had to lie on top of the girl to keep her from going back into the water. She did not want to be saved, and it was basically how dare I infringe on her rights to do what she wanted. And in the process going down the river in the boat, she calmed somewhat and began to cry, and she opened up slightly with me on the boat, and she turned around just and said, "Thank you for giving me a second chance." The people that we deal with, sometimes it really opens their eyes up to say, here, look, there is people here that cares, albeit that they're in a very dark place at the time.
Sadly, Not all can be rescued.